Welcome to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and Merry Christmas everybody, Happy Hanukkah, and if you don't celebrate either one of those, then just Happy December. I specifically picked this game for today because this game kind of has everything that we play on this channel. I would say it is for early access, and you know I love new games. So big thank you to the developers for giving me a key so much ahead. It's incredibly beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. The graphics are just like amazing. It is turn-based combat, which is kind of like the thing we play here the most. And it's just great. Like I said, it's pretty early access, so it's very early. There might be a lot of changes. And what's interesting about this game, Tainted Grail, is that it's actually also a board game. And the people who made the board game thought, you know what, let's also make a video game. So we're gonna play the video game. So let us begin, because I'm excited for this one. Like, I really like this game. Alright, so this is telling us that it's like super early, that it's an alpha, and we're just gonna skip that, it's not interesting. And now let's start.
Kuenact is dying. Its barren fields provide little food, and its crumbling walls offer no protection. As the power of the Guardian Menhirs fails, the Wyrdness creeps ever closer. Twisting places, creatures, and even space itself. Despite this, the people of the Farmhold refuse to leave. Instead, Lord Yvain led 4 of their best on a desperate mission to Camelot. They promised to bring back help. They never returned. Now those left behind are growing desperate. They will try to bestow the burden of their fate on someone else. New heroes, with an even slimmer chance of success.
That's a really good intro, I like it. Now we're gonna be able to pick our character very soon. Alright, so we can pick our character. We can either place as Beor or Aile. At the moment, both characters have the same combat skills, so there's really not much of a difference, but eventually it will change. Now, what is interesting in this game is that you can actually have them both. So in my test play, I actually played as her, which was what we're going to do together as well, but you can get him in your team, which I think is pretty cool. I don't think we'll get to that in the first episode that we're going to play here, but I think it's a really interesting thing we can have multiple people. So let me read you about Aile. An outcast whose entire family perished in the Wyrdness. She makes a modest living supplying healing herbs and roots to the locals. Alright, so let's pick her.
The Wyrdness is close now. Its opalescent coils swirl on the other side of the glade. You do your best to ignore them and continue your work.
We've been trying to find a fresh bloodwort for hours, but nothing seems to grow here anymore, save for the dire nettles. Unfortunately, Niante's bloodwort drought is the only thing that can help some of the wounded back in the farmhold. Niante, at the thought of her name, grief washes over you. She was the mother you never had, and yet she abandoned you. Did she also believe you to be a ward spawn? A monstrosity wearing a human skin? As you wipe a tear from her cheek, you notice one of the girls from the Kuenact. Standing at a safe distance, she looks distraught. And we can say, come closer, I'm no witch. One more move and you'll be covered in warts head to toe. I like that this is the go-to spell we have, like turn them into warts. Ignore, let's go say, come closer, I'm no witch.
You are the next one to fulfill your duty as a member of our community. Lay an offering to our Guardian Menhir foundling. Prove you belong with us.
We can say, I'm on my way, I'm supposed to drop everything just because you said so. I can count, you know, it's not my turn for an offering. Go check the Farmlord's ledgers again. Yeah, we're gonna say this, it's not our turn. It's not my turn.
He changed the ledger. You're now first on the list.
What? Why would he do that? You're well used to the fact that people of Kuenact want to take every advantage of you. I hope this night would be better though. Alright, so an offering, essentially, it's going to... Well, actually, let me just ask.
What? What offering? The offering that each Kuenact resident has to lay at the foot of our menhir. Its power is fading, and now it's your turn.
Right, we're on our way then. So essentially what happens, if we can just skip this, I will talk you through it after. So let me zoom out. This is sort of like a safe area. this thing that we can see here. And then if you move through here, this is kind of like the Wyrdness, and if you move through that, then you sort of lose sanity, and you slowly go insane. And essentially, if you give an offering to the Menhir, it will sort of push the Wyrdness a little bit away, or at least that's how I understood it. Now we can check our characters, so let's click on inventory. This is who we are, and we look amazing. Now at the moment, if you change your inventory, it doesn't change how she looks, but I'm assuming from the way it's set up that this is clearly, this staff is this thing and this is what she's wearing, that maybe later it will change, which I think would be very cool, because this is like amazing. So we get health, we get 100 out of 100, we get resolve. Resolve allows you to use some special abilities, which I'll show you in a second. And sanity, you lose the sanity if you move into the Wyrdness without using some sort of like a special items. I'm not quite sure what happens if you lose sanity. I assume you'll get some sort of negative effects. Then we have movement, attack, armor, evasion, and resistance. Resistance stops you from getting negative debuffs in combat. Evasion allows you to avoid an attack. Armor here works very differently than in typical turn-based combat games. Armor is a percentage of how much you lower an attack. So for example, armor 50 means that the damage done to you is lowered by 50%. So it's very, very different, very interesting. And we've got currently our staff, the most faithful companion, +2 damage in combat, heals 3 HP every turn, which is very cool. And Rendered Swell, dried mud and blood make it uncomfortable but useful with seeking protection against the elements. Then we can also have, we currently have no effects on us, and then we can get skills, which I'll show you once we sort of level up. And then here we can see our quest. We're supposed to go to sacrifice something at the Menhir. Give us offering. So let's go there.
The local Menhir now towers above you, weathered and cracked, its ribbons flapping in the wind. The thought that this tired old thing is the only protection from pure weirdness outside of Farmhold sends shivers up your spine.
That is beautiful. Just the right amount of scary, but also kind of fills you with sort of an awe. The local Menhir now towers above you, weathered and cracked, its ribbons flapping in the wind. The thought that this tired old thing is the only protection of your pure windness outside of Farmhold sends shivers up your spine.
Menhirs, raised by Merlin himself in the age of the one before you, seems to best respond to fresh blood, and its thirst is not easy to quench.
You're wondering why I'm reading half of the text and half of it is done by the woman. It's because the voiceover is only on certain part of things, so you kind of have to wait and figure out, okay, is this being voiceovered or not? But like I said, it's per early access, so of course it is. So we can spill our own blood and lose a lot of HP, or we can look for a sacrifice. So we will look for a sacrifice. The Menhir can be sated with animal blood just as easily as with human offering. Unfortunately, livestock is now scarce and very expensive. We'll need to hunt down some wild creature and drag it back to this place. The thought of chasing prey on the edge of Wyrdness makes you anxious. Your eyes slide past the Kunagt prison board. Maybe there's another safer way to appease the Menhir. Alright, so actually we have a better solution. We're gonna kill a dog and then bring the dog. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go kill a dog, and I can show off the combat, which I'm quite excited for actually. Alright, so the combat is turn-based and you have these cards. Each card has a cost. The cost is in energy, which we can see over here on the left. We have 3 energy total. Then each card has an effect. For example, this one is damage, and then it has a momentum. So the momentum only applies if the next card is right. So for example, if we use the jab and the next card is blue, we gain 20 armor. So we lower the damage done to us by 20%. So this is very cool. So you want to make sure that you use the right card combination as well as possible. And then over here, we've got sort of like charging. So essentially, if you use a card, for example, if you use this card, it will charge your blue thing by 1. You get a glyph charge. And if you get to 10, you can use it as an active ability. So the passive ability of the blue thing is +3 armor per charge. And if we get to 10, we can use it as an ultimate, in which case we gain 3 energy and we can draw 2 cards. With the red thing, the passive is for every charge we gain +10% damage, and if we use it as an ultimate, we cost all of our red cards 0 this turn and their damage is increased by 100%. So let's look at our options. This is, by the way, our chance to avoid damage, which is evasion. This is chance to deal critical hit, and this is chance to resist any negative effect. So what we have here is we can remove all negative statuses. If the next card is blue, it costs 1 less and it costs us 1 energy. So for example, if we use this first, it costs us 1 energy, but then this card is free. If the next card is blue, gain 20 armor, we definitely like that. And here, 5 to 11 damage, next card has a chance for critical hit equal to your armor. And then we could use this. So we're going to start off with jab. We're going to do damage. Then we'll use this, so we get the 20 armor. And you can see now we get the 20 armor. And we also charge the blue, so we get the extra 3 armor from the passive ability. And now we're going to use the Swift Strike, which does 6 to 11 damage. And it has a chance for a critical hit equal to my armor. So we have 23% chance to get a critical hit. Which we didn't get, but that's okay. And we also charge the red thing a little bit, so we get a bit more damage. Now he's going to hit us. And we have 23% chance. We actually lowered the damage by 23%. How it goes. We actually evaded it, even though we only have 10% chance of evasion, which is good. Now the armor, the 20% went away, so now we only have 3% damage reduction. We currently have no momentum, so we could get some armor. Ooh, we could combine the jab with this armor thing. That'd be really good. Or this is just like card drawing. I don't think we want that. So we'll start this off with the jab. Then we'll follow it up with shields up. And finish it off with Swift Strike. And now we lower the damage by 39%. Actually, he's going to apply to himself a buff, so we actually didn't need the armor, but we didn't really have anything better to do anyway. Now what he has now is Duck and Run, which increases his evasion. So I think we might want to go all in on attack over here if we could. Let's check. Ooh, stuns the enemy for 1 turn. Next card ignores enemy armor. Yeah, let's do that. So he can't do anything. Then we'll do 8 to 15 damage. And he has 1 HP left, and now we can do defensive stance. So we can do this. Kill them off, which is perfect. Now this does not remain, the charge does not remain between combat. So in next combat we have to start again, but it's okay. We got some XP, and now we're gonna move back to the menhir, because we can sacrifice the body of the dog. So let's do it. Are you ready to make a sacrifice? Yes. You shall burn the animal remains. You spill the blood at the foot of the statue, the cracked stones drink greedily.
You feel the menhir's power surging.
Ooh, we got 10 XP. You feel the menhir's power surging. Once again, the Wyrdness is pushed back. Once again, the land returned to Connecticut is smaller than before, barely reaching past the furthest building of the farmhold. Bystanders disperse and you sit down to catch your breath. Most of the people are now heading for the meat hall to raise a toast for yet another day Quinnac bought itself with blood. But as you contemplate joining them, you notice a small group of villagers moving towards the abandoned houses at the edge of Farmhold, now safe from Wyrdness. You hear some words about the wealth they're hoping to find in homes that belong to champions of Aaron's expedition. Might be a good idea to see what's happening over there, especially since the knight who rules Quinnac doesn't seem to be around to stop the looting. Alright, so now we get a level up. First thing we can do is we can pick a new skill over here. So we can pick either Full Swing, which gives us 2 charge for the red stuff, 1 to 3 damage, next card deals double damage. I don't like that much. This is interesting though, Pendulum, 7 to 14 damage if the next card is red at 50% damage of this attack, or Force Opening, 6 to 12 damage if critical apply bleeding. Next card is blue, gain 5 of armor for the remainder of the battle though. So this would be useful to use sort of like at the start. I think I'll grab the Force Opening. Let's take it. Next, we can also upgrade ourselves over here. So we've got a skill point, and we can pick one. So essentially the way this works is that you have like an empty upgrade slot, and you can pick out of 3 options, either here or here, and use them. So and this affects sort of like the glyph charges, okay? So first option we can get is Unending Stamina, increases max red charge to 12, but the ultimate is also 10. So when is this useful, right? Well, we know that the red thing increases every time you have a red charge, it increases the damage by 10%, so now we can increase it by 120% in total. The second option is each red charge gives +2 per critical chance per attack, so if you have it full to 10 it would be +20% crit chance. And then this is +2% cripple chance per attack. So crippling kind of hurts the enemy, it's not bad. Alternatively, we could get adaptation. On each hit received in combat, get +1 armor. Now, I don't know if this armor remains through the rest of the battle, or like just the following turn or how exactly does that work, but it does seem interesting. Each blue charge plus 3% resistance, so this means we're going to be less likely to get negative effects. And quick metabolism does not work in alpha, so we don't care. So I think we're going to pick this on each hit received in combat plus 1 armor, because I'm curious about how that's going to work. So let's do it. So we can pick this. And now we've got that. And we now have no more skill points. Okay, so we're going to check that out. Now then we can click on the journal here and you can see our quest. So we have the main quest, which is to go to the mead hall. Then we have nothing is sacred. And this is the quest we're gonna do. Niante was like a mother to you. The crowd that gathers near her home can mean anything good. And we finished the scapegoat because we did the sacrifice. So let's go to Niante's home. If you click Alt on the keyboard, you can see the different places. So we're gonna move to Niante's home. We're gonna kind of protect her home from the people out there. The people gathered in front of Niante's house argue loudly. Some of them are trying to stop the others from breaking the door down. Seems like the crowd wants to loot the house before the Wyrdness once again cuts it off from the rest of the town. As much as you hate the idea of robbing your foster mother, you can't deny that Niante is most likely dead. And even if she isn't, with the Wyrdness clouding roads and trails, she will be hard-pressed to ever return. Now I'm gonna say, stop this madness! The woman you're trying to rob helped you or your families more than once. Is this how you wish to repay her? I mean, she's our foster mother. I mean, we gotta protect her. One of the people shouts. There are many sick in the farm, while Niante might still have some medicine left. Step back or you'll be sorry. So what's actually interesting is that this gives you a different result. I did this in my test game and I got slightly different results each time, so it's quite interesting. You should step back. You don't understand. Without proper knowledge, Niante's medicine will only hurt you. Shut up, word spawn. You want to hoard all of it for yourself. Ooh, we get a combat. Ooh, I didn't get that. I did this twice, but one time I picked a different option. Each time got a different result, but I definitely didn't get a fighting a peasant. But I'm excited. This is gonna be fun, guys. Alright, so let's fight a peasant. Weak opponent focused on fighting in groups. Might try to stun the player. How dare you. So yeah, so he's doing a debuff, so it's probably gonna try to stun me. So we would ideally like to stun him first. Can we do that? I do not have a stunning. Never mind. But next card plus 15% crit chance, that could be good. Mostly just lowers his armor though. If the next card is blue, it would be free. So let's start with... Oh, but we don't need to use this. If the skill... Do we have anything that has an effect? Well, the armor reducing. So we'll start with this. Then we'll do this damage. So... Hope it will lower his armor for 1 extra turn. And then we'll use this. Yeah, now he's gonna stun us now. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, we actually resisted. Very cool. Very cool. Now at this point we don't need to remove any statuses. 6 to 12 damage to all enemies, gain +1 for each enemy hit. +1 charge. If the next card is blue, we get an armor and he's hitting us. So I think we're gonna start with jab. Then we'll follow it up with shields up. And we'll finish it with 7 to 14 damage. Alright, he has very low armor. Hit me for 6, but that's fine. What is this? Draw 1 card? No. 31 to 56 damage, lower your armor by 20. Let's try that. We killed him off. Perfection. And we get some food. Oh, I really hope that we found the food on the body and that it doesn't mean that we're gonna eat him. But in a world like this, you never know. A couple of your opponents lie dead in the mud. The rest curses you from a safe distance. Many people cannot think you cheated on your daily offering, and this bloodshed enrages them further. The stones they begin to throw at you hurt, but the fact your own kin turn against you causes even more pain. Oh man! Open the door. This is very different than in my test runs. You open it with the key to glance probably for the last time at the familiar interior. Everything looks as it always does. It is then when you notice a piece of parchment behind the All-Mother's altar. Get her letter from her, we'll read that. In this short note, your teacher explains why she had to abandon her flock and join Ivan in his quest, and why she had to leave you behind. The young Lord of Connacht was afraid of you and the bond you have with the Wyrdness, but Niante did not share his views. She believes that should their expedition fail, you are the second best chance Connacht had. I like that we're like the second best, you know, like always in the stories are the best. This time like, no, it's just the second best, okay? As you finish the letter, you are overwhelmed by sadness, but also pride. You put it in your pocket and quickly finish your work. Alright, so we got some glistering wormstone and shred of Niante's shroud. You should probably go to the mead hall before people start suspecting you're looting the place yourself. Alright, so let's check the letter, because I want to read it. Letter here. Can read it? Read. Yeah. My dearest apprentice, how I regret what little time we had for your education. I was forced to leave town before I could pass on even a fraction of the knowledge you deserved. Though the fact you'd rather spend time in the mead house than in temple certainly did not help. Know this. The sages of old are true. Avalon was not created for humans, but Arthur, the first of the kings, landed on these shores and subdued the land inch by inch. He took the Grail from the four dwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles known from our world to this godless place. He also raised Guardian Menhirs to secure his conquest. Now the Menhirs go dark, and we will soon follow them into oblivion. Lord even secretly asked me to join a small capable group that will soon set off eastwards to seek help in Camelot, before the land fragments and sinks into the Wyrdness. This will be a perilous journey. If we do not return or send word in 30 days, it means we have failed, and the fate of Connacht falls to you. Ivan thought you were too volatile to go with us, and my runes foretold you would not return alive if you did. Really? You're telling me that? Come on. But alone you might stand a chance. Okay, I take that back. Save our people, or, if you cannot, try to save yourself. And always remember, to me, you were the daughter I never could have. Stay safe. Niante, priestess of Connacht. Well, she was the mother we never had, so that's great. Alright. So now we should go to the mead hall to talk with the rest of the people and continue our quest. So off we go. Let's meet the people who throw rocks at us. The moment you enter the mead hall, all eyes turn towards you. Some of the people you met by your mentor's home are here. In front of them stands the...
You were able to talk sense into these people, to hold things together when tempers ran high. Good.
Shrug your arms. You don't like where this is going, and you do not trust this man.
You might just be the person I was hoping to find. Someone who could handle an urgent task. Guards, escort everyone else outside.
Your hand grasps the letter in your pocket. Your mentor also asks you to step up, but what if they were wrong? You're now alone with the knight, trying not to look at the bandages covering half of his face, or to think about unsettling stories you've heard about him. I kept watching you today. I needed to see how well you deal with hardship and obstacles before I tell you the truth. The truth that our menhir is failing? Yeah, let's say that. Is he attempting to smile with the unspoiled half of his face, or is it an angry grin? Can't tell. It would seem this secret is even worse kept than I imagined. Yes. The menhir won't last much longer. How do you know? I felt it when I made the offering. Another proof I was right about you.
When Lord Yvain left me in charge of this farmhold, I thought the task was beneath me. Turned out it's quite the opposite.
He looked at his bandaged hands and then turns back towards you.
I cannot travel outside anymore. Will you help me?
What do you want me to do?
We have to find a way to strengthen the Menhir and buy more time, so that Yvain may finish his quest. Blood is not sufficient anymore. We need another source of power to lay at its feet.
Where should I look? Any ideas?
In days of old, before the purges, it was druids who took care of Menhirs. The one Yvain cast out from the city may still be alive. You may also ask someone who knows a thing or two about objects infused with magic. Your people speak about a witch in the woods to the west. Maybe she knows what could help our stone.
In days of old, before the purges, it was druids who took care of the menhirs. The one even cast out from the city may still be alive. You may also ask someone who knows a thing or two about objects infused with magic. Your people speak about a witch in the woods to the west. Maybe she knows what could rekindle our stone. Alright. Clouds of Wyrdness are still just outside the town. It's impossible to travel. Knight reaches for the satchel at his side and hands you a couple of candles made from strange dark wax. You shudder. You never thought you'd get to use one of those foul things. Ward candles. Make every one of them count. Some more may still be bought around Connacht, but they get scarcer by the day. Do not make a mistake of thinking that the light turns you invulnerable. If you keep peering too long into the Wyrdness, it is bound to look back. His hand touches the bandage on the side of his face. If you don't go out there, no one will. In weeks the town will be swallowed whole. Don't wait until the Wyrdness is at your very doorstep. Ooh, I like it. I like the story. I like the whole thing about this game. So we can go to the observatory and kind of see the nearby terrain and stuff like that if we wanted to. So if you sort of like hover, like click on something with your right click, it's going to tell you what you can do. Or we could try to move towards the gatekeeper and talk to him. So let's talk to the gatekeeper. Why not? Let's do it. We're moving towards the west, towards the witch, by the way. A lone guard glances at you nervous as you step past the farmhouse gate. Hope you're not planning to bail on us now that the roads are a little bit clearer, like this bone-headed smith did. Ooh. Arthur's apprentice, Beor, he walked away as soon as the Wyrdness cleared, mumbling things I care not to repeat. Did he tell you where he was going? No, and as I said, he was not in the mood for a chat, but he went down the path leading to Caraway Inn. If you stumble upon him, maybe you can pour some sense into his thick head. Alright, so now you can see this symbol means I'm losing sanity. So I should try to fix that by, for example, drinking a word candle. Or actually, I guess it's lighting it, not drinking it. I would recommend not drinking a candle. Like, you never know, but like, I would say it's not the best idea. Let's go fight some crazed dogs. Let's go. You want to discover the hit armor thingy that we've got. So, let's start off with... Draw a card. We don't need to draw a card. If the next card is blue, we can heal. Okay, so let's do that. And it resets our charges, but we don't, blue charges, but we don't care because we didn't have any. So now we get charged up for 6 and we get 28 armor. And we're going to check, now he's going to hit us, and we're going to check how it increases my armor. So it gives me +1. And then, okay, so the +1 seems to stay. That's good, because this gives us 18 and we get that extra 1 from him hitting me. Now he's giving himself a buff. Next card has a chance for critical hit equal to your armor. If the next card is red, it costs 1 less. So we could use this. Oh, but lowers your non-red runes to 0, so we don't want that. So I think we'll start with... And we could gain 100% resistance, but he's not hitting us. Let's go with Shield Slam, and we'll follow it up with Whirlwind. Because I really like the armor from this. We'll end our turn. He gave himself a buff, that's okay. Ooh, if the next card is blue, we get extra armor. Let's use this. Then we'll use 7 to 19 damage, and we can finish him off with this red card. It didn't matter that lowered our runes because we finished him off, which is good. We get some more food. And we're gonna keep moving. What is this? Maimed Knight. Yeah, let's go talk to him. What is he doing? A lone figure stands hunched by the path leading into Canak Cemetery. You reach for your weapon, expecting yet another obstacle, but your grip relaxes. You recognize the tattered cloak and broad shoulders. It's the Maimed Knight. Suspicion immediately flooded your mind. He told you he couldn't go out anymore, but here he is, no word candle in hand. Had to travel to pure Wyrdness to get here. The very thought of this chills you. Watch him. After what feels like an eternity, the Maimed Knight enters the graveyard, bypasses the main alley, and walks up to a spot that seems empty. Only when you hide behind a nearby tomb, you notice an unmarked stone on the ground in front of him. Knight sets thumbs low, as if some terrible burden has befallen him. Crying on him in a moment like that feels wrong. Hail him. You make 2 louder steps and grunt to make your presence known. The Maimed Knight doesn't turn towards you, but he acknowledges you with a nod. Did not expect you here. Were you following me? Wasn't there something else you were to do? I also didn't expect you here. Weren't you supposed to stay in Connacht? This is where the people of my farm will honor that you have no place in. Now let's go with the first thing. I was, but I wanted to see this place one last time. Why? Do not change the subject. Why are you here? Were you following me? This is where the people of my farmland honor their dead. You have no place here. What makes you so sure? If only. He stops half-word and takes a long breath. Never mind. I'm not going to reward your insolence with my secrets. Maimed Knight turns around and walks away into the Wyrdness. See you at the farmhold. Please, make haste with your search. Alright, so I think we're going to end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, write down the comments, and I'll see you. And you can click on the right top to watch Urtuk the Desolation, or you can click on the right bottom to watch Armageddon, which are both turn-based combat games. See you there. Bye bye.